Hi. Good. We're going to use a bolster today too for a little extra zest. It was nice. We had a weekend of training, so I was here at the studio. And we had, that's why you over on the other side of the city. But we had our guest teacher, Sheena, come in and do a whole session on the practice of decolonizing yoga. And I think it was like illuminating for a lot of the group, which is great. Yeah. How was your weekend? We'll roll a little bit towards the end, so if you want to grab some therapy balls, but otherwise I think you're good. Yeah.
So what is her background that she's talking about?
So she is of Indian origin. She has her PhD from Temple in sociology in the study of, I guess she started off, she was describing her academic origins, and her doctorate work ended up being about how yoga is used as a form of oppression even within India itself. And so when she teaches, I think she's at Westchester University actually now. But she hopped around a little bit, so I don't know if she's there full time or if she's teaching at a few universities now. But she teaches in academia, and then she also comes in for teacher trainings and just talks about how to practice yoga ethically. Like if you're learning to become a yoga teacher in the West, it's not a practice of like, don't do this, but it's just a practice of here's the holistic three-dimensional version of what yoga is and how and why are we responsible for sharing this history. So it was great. It was really, really good.
That sounds really
Yeah. So she comes in every year very early. So we like to bring her in like the second or third weekend and then slowly be like, look at everything else and so much more to offer and so many other options to check out.
It becomes a good frame of reference.
Yeah, Adriana says it's like a lens through which you see the whole yoga practice, which I love.
Yeah, that's great.
How was your weekend?
Good. It's such pretty weather.
I know. Every time I've been indoors here, but I saw it from afar.
Yeah, I ended up going out to Westchester for a sad reason, for a memorial for
Oh.
a colleague that lives in a park in Westchester. And
Oh.
it ended up being a really beautiful
Yeah.
afternoon, and saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while.
That's nice.
So that was
When because you're teaching there, you were teaching there full time for years, and now
I'm retired.
You're retired.
Yeah.
Do you do any guest lectures or symposiums or things?
I do stuff when people ask me.
Yeah.
A couple weekends ago, I was at Miami University of Ohio. I did a talk, and
Nice.
so I
Yeah,
stuff that.
but not like every day on campus like before.
No, and the chic thing is no grading.
Yes. Yes. Once the talk is done, you're done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I always used to say that I teach for free. They pay me to grade.
Yeah. Hi. How are you? Good. Because I was wondering, I haven't spent much time in Westchester besides like growing up in the area. Is there a town there?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
borough is actually very cute.
Oh,
in
nice.
Westchester. When I started there in the mid-90s, it was very rough and sort of down
Yeah.
the field. But now there's a lot of like cute restaurants and shops.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And the borough has gotten very nice.
Do a lot of people who teach there live around there, or everyone?
So people live everywhere.
Yeah.
So there are people who like to be able to walk to campus.
Sure.
And live in the borough. And the borough is a very cute, like small town. But there's also a big contingent of people that live in South Philly or Mount Airy.
Uh-huh.
And drive in.
Drive, yeah. That makes sense.
There's no good public transit out there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then there are people who live even like further, like in Lancaster,
Oh,
and drive in, like who have
rural life.
kind of.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Spread out.
So people can. I mean, it's one of the nice things about this area, right?
Yeah.
The kind of you like to live in, you can find within more or less reasonable
Yeah.
distance.
That's true. That is very true. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Did your fall break happen?
It did. It's blank and you miss it. Because you get a whole week, but we only get a Thursday, Friday. I teach on Thursday, so basically it's one day.
Okay.
And then that whole weekend I was having just like very visceral classes, half empty, half full
Yeah.
oscillation between like it's over and then it's like
Half the semester's over.
it's like it really stopped being soothing at all.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I already got emails from 4 people this morning being like, we're sick from fall break, we won't be in class.
Yeah.
I was like,
It
okay.
was just this last week for
They're
them.
just this last week, so I go back today.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm excited about. But I didn't realize, I was saying, last night I was brushing my dog outside, and one of the professors from the dance studio just walks down my street, and I didn't realize how many people live in West Philly who work at Swarthmore. It's like,
Yeah.
that's a pipeline.
Yeah, a lot of people who teach out in the suburbs live in the city.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Hello.
I even have a friend who teaches out at Franklin and Marshall out in Lancaster.
Oh, yeah.
Lives in the city,
Does she go in every day?
I think 3 days a week.
Okay.
She takes Amtrak.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they have convenient transit there. That's nice. Yeah, they have a train right into Swarthmore's campus, which I would take, but because I teach like right now before, and then I have to get back right afterwards, I can't afford if anything runs late or I miss the train. But it's an easy, like 1:30 in the afternoon and 4 o'clock on weekdays. It's as simple as it can be. I'm not.
And you're not right in the thick of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Or I'm going in the opposite direction that everyone's coming in from.
And Sparkler's it's like half an hour.
Yeah. No. Hi, y'all. We'll start in some time. Hello. Plenty of 6 whole minutes before class begins, which is 6 lifetimes. We will also use a bolster today. I know we don't often use one. I know there's like eyebrow raises as to what that could be for. But a bolster, 2 blocks, knees down so you can use cushioning or if you'd like the blanket. And I'd love to get some time to roll. So if you'd like to grab a therapy ball and straps, you can grab that too, or I can bring stuff over to you. I know sometimes when Adriana is going to be teaching a couple of times throughout the fall, and she's not only a mixed level queen, but a restorative yoga queen too, and her bolsters are always for propping yourself up and getting very comfortable in the best way for Shavasana, and mine are that. But you can use them for Shavasana too, just some extra padding. Yeah, that's a right thing. You sniff it in the air. Oh. Hello. My goodness. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. I know, normally I not only not seen you, but like in daylight. I haven't seen you in daylight in a while. Yay. Yay. Oh, I'm glad you snuck this in. You might hear me say this a few times as people come in, but in addition to all the other props, a bolster additionally for your arm balance pleasure later on in class. Every time I come in, I look at the calendar and for some reason still think it's early October. So there's so many But it is October 20th, 2-0, more than halfway done. Hello, how are you?
I have an event tonight that I know it was October 20th for 3 months, and all weekend I thought it was next Monday, because I wasn't like, it was the 20th, it just seemed like it couldn't possibly be the 20th.
It couldn't possibly be the 20th.
Like Saturday, Dan's like, we better start prepping for that dinner. And I was like, it's not till the 20th. And he's like, today's the 18th.
Tomorrow. I know. Those things that you book months in advance that really sneak up on you. Like I'm going to India on the 30th, which again I thought was a month away, but no, just 2 weeks. And I say just saying because it's so far away that 2 weeks feels like 1 second of time. But the last in the cousin lineup, like there's 7 of us that are very close. He's getting married in Bombay. And so I said, okay, I will be there.
So you just canceled class those weeks at Swarthmore?
There's 3 options that I'm figuring out. 1, someone from the dance department who teaches like movement and Pilates has covered for me before, and the students know. 2, I have a teacher, Jean in West Philly is available, and I just need to see if they want to bring in a guest outside teacher. Or 3, all of these live stream classes are on YouTube, so I have the students watch them and then write me a little paragraph of just reflection of like, did you breathe? How did it feel? So not canceled, but I won't be there. And I won't send them this video to watch because this is recording right now. Yeah, I'm always aware when I'm talking about it. I'm like, you will watch the week afterwards. Hi, Sally. Good to see you. All right, y'all, we'll start in just a moment. And in addition to everything else I see y'all grabbing, I can also, but a fun little bolster that you can use for rest, but we will use for a little more active play things. Hello, look at this. I love this jacket. Bolster, 2 blocks. I'd love to get some time to roll, so if you'd like to, bless you, grab some therapy balls, you can find those too. And a strap and a blanket, so everything you see to grab. And I can also come and grab you things. Okay. Bless you. Good to see y'all. Hello. I might turn the lights on as we get started because the clouds are coming over and sometimes it'll be dark and sometimes it'll be light, but as long as you can see and hear me, I like to keep them off in the daytime. It's great to be with you all. Happy Monday. Some new faces to class, or it's been some time, and my name is Anisha. Thank you so much for coming. And this is, because she's here, I'm going to put her on blast. But not next Monday I'll be here, but the first 2 Mondays in November I'll be out of town. And Kashika, who's in the back, who assisted class, yeah, look at the cute wave, who assisted class for a whole year and is teaching great weekly classes, she'll be covering those 2 Mondays. So please do come through, and then I'll be back after daylight savings through the dark. All right, I have a bunch of announcements to get to after we practice. The calendar is stacked with events and workshops. Hi, Molly, good to see you. But for today and next Monday are kind of our last 2 classes of October, where I've been sharing for the whole month of October stories of the goddess. So at the end of, in the calendar year, at the end of September, early November was the official calendar holiday of Navratri, the 9-night and 9-day celebration of the goddess, where each day and night you celebrate a different avatar, a different version of this feminine divine energy that exists. And so over the past 3 weeks, we've been talking a lot about Durga, the warrior goddess. Her sweet little stuffed animal is here, more into behind the bowl of. And she's the goddess, just to paint the imagery, who rides on the back of the lion or the tiger. She has her 10 arms, and in each one of her arms, she's holding a different piece of weaponry. But today, we're shifting a bit and talking about one of the other great goddesses of the yogic tradition. So if you've been practicing at the studio for a while, the Studio 3 Queens is named after not only Queen Village, in homage to the neighborhood that it's in, but also the 3 main divine feminine energies in the yogic tradition. So there's Durga, the warrior goddess. Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and music and knowledge. And today we're talking about Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance, of wealth, and beauty. And I have a story that I'll share after we practice, but just to give you a little visual of what Lakshmi looks like, she is a goddess who has 4 arms, and in each one of her arms, she's holding a different object, from a lotus flower to a bowl of water to a conch, and all objects symbolizing her ability to explore and experience wealth. From her front right hand, she has a continuous stream of gold coins dripping out, not to give you money, but to, well, sometimes, but to show that abundance and wealth, when it's shared, creates more generosity than ever seen before. But she sits on the body of spoiler alert, sits on the body of a lotus flower, and lotus flowers in the yoga tradition are meant to symbolize the ability to grow from seemingly uninhabitable territory. If you've ever seen a lotus flower, like at Longwood Gardens, they grow in what looks like sheer muck, like you can't see through the water. There's weeds, there's moss, there's fungus, there's things that are growing out, and yet the lotus emerges and blooms, and each petal is even more beautiful than the one that revealed itself to you. And that's Lakshmi's seat, the seat that she sits on. And her vehicle, or the animals that she's seated with, are peacocks. And peacocks in the yogic and Hindu tradition are thought to be a symbol of wealth, of beauty, of wisdom, and great reverence. So today's pose that we're moving towards is peacock pose, Mayurasana. It's a time. Yeah, it's an experience. It's a moment in time, and it's not a pose that we look to stay in for hours, let alone 2 breaths, let alone some space and time, but it's a place in which to explore and experience your limits, to stretch yourself through the limits of direction and see where in which you can find some balance. So sweet bolster friend will be our metaphorical lotus flower, our resource to help us find a little equanimity. But please take breaks, sip water, take your time, and pace yourself. For the gift, I say this often, but the gift of this practice is it's not just this Monday's class, not next year's Monday's class, not this lifetime, but lifetimes to be able to explore and practice what's happening within ourselves. So let's begin when you're ready in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. If you'd like to sit up on any propping, on your bolster, on your blanket, you might start lying down if you'd like. You might have your legs crossed underneath you or be seated up on your knees, but let yourself feel your seat with as much steadiness and ease as you can. And as your hands fall anywhere that they might fall, into your lap or onto the tops of your thighs, let your eyes soften so you can listen for your own breath. When we close our eyes, it's just a moment in time to tune out that external stimulation and to draw your attention more inward to the interior world that exists behind your own eyelids. And with your eyes soft and your attention turned inward, take notice of the feeling of the ground beneath you, the sensation of the clothing on your skin, the air around. And begin to listen for the fluency of your own breath, that gift that continues to give. You never have to think about the breath. It's always there to remember you. And the moment you notice your breath, it naturally wants to give right back. So your next inhale, as it slowly lengthens, might move from your nose down into your belly and up into your heart. And as you exhale, feel the breath pour itself up and out through the very top of your head, creating a drop more space for more of your breath. A few more rounds just on your own. Each breath moves in and down to fill you up. And exhales offer themselves down into the earth and up and out in every direction. We'll start our time together with 3 rounds of that same breath. Give yourself a moment to gather your hands to center, where that might feel for you, somewhere on your body or in front of your heart. But wait for your next inhale, let it fill you up completely. And exhale to offer the breath out, heartfelt. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now keeping that attention as best as you can, let your hands release, gently blink your eyes open, and come forward to tabletop today. Let's start to link some breath and movement together through rounds of cat and cow. So in your table, your blocks might flank the front corners of your mat. You might use them as we start to move around. For this first table, give yourself a little room. So let your hands come as wide as your mat. Let your index fingers or even thumbs face more forward. And with your knees underneath your hips, curl your toes under. And on your own, start to round and arch your spine, linking breath and movement together. Let's go for 4 cycles of breath just at your own pace. Noticing what it feels like, not just to move your body in isolation, but how your breath and body can really harmonize together, maybe creating a drop more awareness and space within yourself. Take another full round of breath in through the nose, and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. And as you come back to your neutral spine, find tabletop. Getting into the wrists a little more clearly. This time, keep your left hand where it is. Start to turn either your right thumb more to the front of your mat, or let your right fingertips face back towards your knees. Claw your right fingertips into the earth, lift your chest. Stay right here, or to make some small circles, you might move your right hip towards your right heel, and then start to move clockwise in and through the hips, leaning forward. But take 3 steady breaths, noticing what you feel in the right wrist as you claw the fingertips. Try to slide your ears back so your head stays in line with your heart, and let your breath be full. After your 3rd breath, making those circles, the next time you come through center, slowly turn your right hand back forward. Take notice of any difference. And for the other side, either left thumb faces more forward, or start to turn your left fingertips to face towards your left knee. Take a breath to lift up through the heart. And as you exhale, claw the fingertips, stay still, or maybe you begin to make counterclockwise circles, left hip towards your left heel. As you notice any sensation shifting in the left wrist. 2 more breaths, deep inhales in, and even open-mouthed exhales out to notice, let the outer body soften, the shoulders, the jaw, and the eyebrows widen. The next time you come through center, come back to table, slowly turn your left fingertips more forward. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Bring your knees behind your hips. And with your toes curled under, take all the time that you need to meet in downward facing dog. Maybe it's stillness that you crave here in your down dog. You might pedal your heels one at a time. You might bend and straighten your knees at the same time. But can you offer it to your own breath as you take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out through every fiber of your being? At the bottom of your exhale, lift both heels, soften your knees, take a peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, begin to walk your feet up towards your palms to come into your forward fold. You might have your blocks so close that your hands come high up onto blocks out in front of your feet. Perhaps you widen your feet an inch or 2, or soften your knees in service of giving your low back a little extra room. But as you bow in towards yourself, take a full breath in through the nose, Stay for your exhale as your head gets heavier, bowing in towards your heart. Now hands climb up onto your hips, stand down through your legs, and on your inhale, come all the way up to rise as your hands float down by your sides. Let your feet be right underneath your hips. Take an inhale to reach your arms forward and up. As you exhale, soften your knees to hinge and fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, hands to your shins or blocks as your heart reaches forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms, step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Your knees might be lifted. You might tap your knees to the floor behind your hips. But without moving your legs, can you energetically hug your legs together like they could become one pillar? Now without hug your palms together. Feel the forearms and the biceps engage. Now slide back. Bless you. So your head is in line with your chest. A big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down onto your belly. Let your hands come as wide as your mat. Take up a little extra room. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift up through the heart. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 steady breaths. The image of Lakshmi on the lotus with one of her hands outstretched, dripping in coins, a symbol of wealth, of abundance, of wisdom and beauty. And while we may not necessarily have that physical representation of gold coins dripping, it's that breath that continuously feeds us. Every inhale, it expands you from the outside in. And every exhale, you might press through your palms to lift your hips and grow longer in every direction of you. At the bottom of your breath, take your time, lift your heels, soften the knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your forward fold. On an inhale, lengthen halfway, think heart long to the front of the room. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Let your feet be 2 fists width apart, generally hip distance. You can use your fists to measure. And with your toes pointing straight ahead, begin to bend your knees. Sit your butt back and climb your palms to your thighs for this round of chair pose. As you let your butt get heavy, press into your legs to lift your heart and try to slide the ribs back to steady the middle of your back. Stay here breathing for more support in your low back. Feel free to add some heat in the upper body if your arms reach overhead. But remember your own breath. Each inhale moves in and down. As you exhale, your butt as you guide your knees open and lift your heart away from the earth. Now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. As you exhale, stay standing and let your hands come down by your sides. Okay, shake out your feet, feel your feet on the ground, and now reach your arms straight ahead as you make little fists with your hands. Instead of clenching, try to let your thumbs come to the fronts of your fingers. And now begin to flick your fingers forward. Think less of clenching and then releasing, but see if you can flick your 4 fingers into the resistance of your thumbs. And now keep going at this pace, or a little faster. Tiny bend in your knees. Continue to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. You might feel one forearm getting a little hotter faster than the other. Maybe this rate or a drop faster as you take one more breath. Start to reach your arms up overhead in a big V. Keep flicking. Stay for your exhale for one more moment. Slowly release your hands as you shake it out. Do you feel one more than the other? My left forearm immediately starts screaming. So now keep all of that as you inhale, reach up, touch the sky. On your exhale, bowing in. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. Come high up onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot. Now wiggle your left toes back just an inch so you get longer. Stay in your lunge. Take an inhale as you lift your chest. Press into the blocks to lift your heart. On your exhale, begin to fold and straighten your right knee. Let's do that 2 more times with your breath. Inhale through to lunge. As you exhale, slowly fold and straighten your right leg. One more time. Take a breath. Think long through the spine as you come through to your lunge. As you exhale, fold and let your right leg straighten. Now, once both legs are straight, pause for a moment. Feel your back heel, and can you lift your back heel higher away from the ground? This might help your hips move a little in space. Try to push through your left foot to wrap your left hip forward. Tack your right butt cheek back. And now press the right big toe side edge of your foot into the ground. You might feel this spiral of energy wrap up the right thigh. Take a full breath in. Stay for your exhale. You might bow in towards that right leg as you unclench your fingers around the blocks or the floor. Good. Inhale to back it up. Bend your right knee, look forward, and all the hops you need to step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your left foot forward. Let's do the other side. Step your right foot back to lunge. Sometimes we shortchange ourselves on the distance, so if you'd like, you might squeegee your right toes back just another inch. Now press into your blocks or the ground. Take a breath to lift your heart. And as you exhale, follow your pace to straighten your left knee. 2 more. Big inhale in brings you through to lunge. As you exhale, fold and let your left leg straighten. Last time, take a breath, breathe into your belly and chest. And on your exhalation, come into this modified pyramid pose as you straighten your back front knee. Now, sometimes when the left foot is forward, the hips want to spin open to the right. So when you lift your right heel, it helps wrap your right hip to the front of your mat to tack the left hip back and notice any sensation in the belly of your left hamstrings. Take a full breath in through the nose. Stay for your exhale. Press your left big toe down into the ground. Maybe the elbows soften as you bow in towards your left thigh. Good. On your next inhale, back it up through to lunge. Bend your knee. Plant your palms onto your sticky mat and step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels from one side to the other. Notice any difference you feel and see. On an inhale, take your time, come forward to plank. As you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Let the shoulder blades hug on the upper back. And exhale to take it up and back to downward facing dog. Now from your down dog, float the right leg to the sky. Step your right foot through or around to catch your lunge. Begin to pivot your hands and feet over to the left and come into your wide-legged forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. Now with all 10 toes pointing the same direction, especially if you know your knees lock easily, take a micro bend that you might not see but you can feel. And now without moving your legs, energetically hug your feet and legs together. Feel the inner thighs engage. And as you keep that, on your exhale, you might soften your elbows and bow in towards yourself. Every inhale, can you hug your feet and legs together? Every exhale, feel the pinky side edge of your feet root into the earth as you bow in. Now with your head heavy, turn your right knee and toes through to lunge. Let your hands frame out your right foot. Wait for your inhale to come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms, your chest, and your torso to the sky. You might walk your right foot an inch or two over to the right. Let your feet be less on a tightrope. But lift your back heel high, stretch up through the fingertips. Try to look away from the ground as you bend 1 more inch into your front leg. Now hands come to your hips. Tiny bend in your back knee, get a little springy, and take all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. Begin to cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Sit your butt back into your chair pose as you reach your chest forward for standing figure 4. Your hands can go anywhere to steady you. They might stay on your hips. If you want something solid, they might come high up onto blocks in front of your feet. You might also reach them up overhead. But take a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Can you lift your chest as your butt gets heavier to the earth? Now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And exhale to thread your left foot back to lunge. Plant your palms onto the earth. Step it back to downward facing dog. And now here, in your down dog, pause a few moments to choose your own adventure. On an inhale, everyone lift your right leg to the sky, the same one that was ahead in your lunge. Try to wrap your right hip and toes to face the floor, flex your right foot, and straighten your right knee. Stay right here or look forward. You might add a little spice as you inhale, come forward to one-legged plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. Stay here as you take a breath in, or exhale to one-legged chaturanga. Inhale to and exhale back to three-legged dog. Lower your right foot, feel gravity catch you. And now inhale to float the left leg to the sky. Step your left foot through or around to catch your lunge. You might bring your strap with you as you pivot your hands and feet. We'll come into that wide-legged forward fold on the second side with a shoulder stretch this time. So as you face towards the brick wall, you can either grab the strap between your hands at your low back to give your shoulders and a chest lots of room, or with your elbows bent, begin to interlace your fingers at your low back. But before you straighten your arms, hug your shoulder blades together. Begin to tug your fingers or strap apart, and now reach your arms off of your tush towards the ceiling. Tiny bend in your knees so that they don't lock. Teeny bend in your elbows so that those don't lock. And as you hug your feet towards each other, try to tug your strap or fingers apart and think shoulder blades together on the back of your heart. Take a full breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then slowly release your hands to your tush. Ditch your strap to the side if you have it. We'll use it later. Turn your left knee and toes to catch your lunge. You might heel toe your left foot an inch or two over to the left as you rise for high lunge on the second side. Feel the ground beneath you. Lift your back heel, stretch up through the fingertips, and bend into your front leg. Now tiny bend in your back knee. Get springy. Take all the hops you need to scoop your right thigh up towards your chest. Stand through your left foot, grow tall through the crown of your head, and standing figure four as you cross your right ankle over, sit back into your chair pose. And anywhere your hands go to steady you, your hips, your heart, blocks, or overhead, feel for your breath. Take a breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale, think butt heavy as you lift your heart, even your gaze away from the floor. On an inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up, draw the right knee to your belly, thread your right foot back to lunge, tap your hands to the floor and step it back to downward facing dog. Now with your breath, lift that same left leg to the sky. Instead of letting the left hip open to the left, can you wrap it towards the earth, flex your foot and straighten your knee. Stay exactly where you are, breathing. You might look forward. Maybe on your inhale, you come forward to one-legged plank, shoulders over the wrists. Reach back through your forward through the heart, a big exhale to lower, one-legged chaturanga. Inhale to one. And exhale all the way back to three-legged dog. Lower your feet to the ground, let gravity hold you. Walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. Teeny bend in your knees, and one palm at a time, start to walk your hands back to your feet so you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Let the head be heavy. Let the knees be soft. Your hands might touch the floor or grab opposite sides of your elbows as you bow in. But take a full breath in and a deeper breath out. Good. Now climb your hands up onto your hips. Stand through your legs and a big inhale to come all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. Sip water at any point. Take breaks anytime that you need to. But once you're hydrated, you'll stay at the back of your mat for a moment, but turn your toes out to face the top corners of your mat. As you bend your knees, sit your butt back and start with your palms onto your thighs for this version of. Sometimes the knees want to knock in. Can you use your hands to gently guide your knees open towards your second and third toes? And now feel your pelvis and butt. Stick your butt back towards the back of the room. Feel the curve in and through your low back. And now keep that, but try to send your sitting bones towards your heels. It's a subtle action that maybe lifts the low belly. Press into the thighs to lift your heart. Stay right here breathing. Or if there's a little more space or some curiosity, you might lower your elbows to the tops of your thighs. Try to go pubic bone back, sitting bones down as you lift your heart. And now everyone on your inhale, begin to sweep your arms up over. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale. Think hips back as you lift your heart to the sky. And now lower your hands. Fold at your legs. Straighten your knees as you turn your toes to the front of the room. One hand at a time. Start to walk your palms back forward. Take it back, facing dog. And on an inhale, lift your right leg up and back. We'll come into pigeon pose, so you can draw your right knee to your right wrist and lower your right shin onto the earth. But remember, if for any reason pigeon doesn't feel supportive on the knee or hip, you can take lizard lunge with your foot to the outside of your hand. But this one will come into a thigh stretch. So come high up onto your blocks or fingertips in front of your right knee. Now, without actually moving your legs, can you energetically hug your knees towards each other? So you're pulling the right knee back and the left knee forward to lift your butt up off the ground. Press into your blocks, lift your chest up, and now begin to bend your left knee to lift your left toes up off the floor. Stay here the whole time breathing. Or you might keep your right hand on the block or on the floor as your left hand reaches around for the top of your left foot. You might lasso a strap or grab the leg of your pants. But as you come in for the thigh stretch, notice if the ribs and belly want to move forward. Slide the ribs back, kiss the shoulder blades together, and then slide your ears back to lift your chin. Take a full breath in and a deeper breath out. And now inhale to slowly release the hold of your leg. Clear the blocks, lower your forearms. And as your forearms come down, interlace your fingers to bring the webbing of your hands together. Try to look at your wrists the whole time. And as you tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee and thigh up off the ground, slide your right leg back to meet your left for forearm plank. In your forearm plank with your knees up or down, feel your legs back in space. And now without moving them, can you hug your inner thighs towards each other? Feel your legs become one pillar. Push your pinkies down, your wrists down, and slide your ears back as you take a big breath in. For the exhale, and now lower your knees, lower your chest, lower your belly. You can make a pillow with your hands. You might rest on your forearms, but call yourself back to your breath in through the nose and all the way out through your nose or mouth. Take another long breath in as it fills you up completely, and a deeper breath out through every direction of your being. Okay, after a few breaths here, we have one more side to do. Bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press yourself up through to table or plank pose. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, wait for your inhale to lift your left leg to the sky. Left leg through to pigeon or lizard lunge. Left knee can come to your left wrist as you lower your shin to the earth. And here, a little pro tip is if you walk your left knee to come wider than the left side of your mat, or as wide as your left hip, it helps steady the ground underneath you, like your knees are on railroad tracks instead of on a tightrope. But as your hands come up onto your blocks or your fingertips, give your knees a hug towards each other. It's like you're corkscrewing your hips towards the front of the room. Right knee forward, left knee back. Now press into the blocks to lift your chest and begin to bend your right knee to lift your right toes up off the earth. Breathe exactly as you are, or your left hand might stay rooted as you reach your right hand around for the top of your right foot or a strap or the leg of your pants. But each breath in, the knees hug towards each other to grow up through the spine. And each exhale, as you feel the right heel move towards your tush, slide the ribs back to support the middle of your back. Take one more breath in and a deeper breath out. And now on your inhale, release the hold of your right foot. Lower your forearms down onto the ground. As you interlace your fingers, see if you can take that awkward thumb on top. Now tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up off the earth, and slide your left leg back to meet your right. Forearm plank, round 2. With your knees up or down, feel your legs in space and hug them towards each other. Now as you reach back through your heels, can you slide your heart forward to grow longer? A full breath in. Stay for the exhale. Take one more. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into the back of your chest. Open your mouth to let that breath out. And now lower your knees, lower your hips, your chest, your belly. Maybe a pillow with your other palm on top or resting on the other cheek. But a full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Bring your hands to either side of you. Press up through to tabletop. You can sit back onto your heels and take a breath. Sip some water, take anything you need. We've made it. Is there a word for a group of peacocks? Do you know what I mean? Like there's pride of lions, not a gaggle of peacocks. Flock of peacocks? Flock o' cocks? Of peacocks. This is pieces of information I would like to spread. A plumage or a flock of peacocks. Okay, so Mayurasana, also sometimes translated to peacock pose, is, an arm balance. And we'll try it 2 times, maybe 3, in different orientations to gravity. So this one that we'll try out first, it's not perfect, but the idea is the bolster acts as a support for your pelvis. So I'll show it to you, then I'll talk you through it, and we'll see where it takes us together. But this first one, you'll start off on your knees, and the bolster will kind of rest onto the tops of your thighs. And then you'll lower down into tabletop. I kind of have to wedge the bolster so that it sits right in the crease of my hips, yeah? And then once you come into your table, you bring your forearms towards each other. I'm letting my wrists come about a hand's print distance apart. Your thumbs face ahead and you look forward. And then you start to bend your elbows until your chest and belly lands onto the elbows itself. I say this for every time I teach this. If you have frontal appendages, you kind of have to, I don't even have that much, but you kind of have to tuck underneath to get into some space. But there is muscle underneath all of this. So here, the elbows come to the sides, you bend them, and you look forward. Now I know it looks awkward, but this is a variation of the shape. Or you might extend one leg back and the other leg back with your pelvis on the bolster itself. Yeah? And then to come out, it's knees down, and you press yourself back up. So the aim of the game, your hips will never come off the bolster, but I want you to think about where your body is moving. Sometimes we look down towards the floor. Can you reach your chest forward while you extend your legs back? Yeah? If any questions come up, let me know. We'll see if we can work through them together, but let's try this variation. So find your bolster, and if anyone needs one, I can bring one over to you. And come to stand behind your bolster so that it kind of rests onto your thighs. That's it. And now as it rests, look forward and come into tabletop onto all fours. You might have to use your hand to press the bolster back against your thighs. Now once you're in your table, let your thumbs face more forward and walk your hands a handprint closer towards each other to the middle of your mat. So there's about a fist or 2 fists between your palms. Now look forward and begin to bend your elbows Reach your chest forward and let your elbows come to touch somewhere in your ribs or your belly. It's not comfortable, but hug your forearms towards each other. Look forward. Stay right here, doing your best to breathe. Or you might reach your right leg back as you straighten your right knee. Reach your left leg back as you straighten your left knee. And reach your heart and chest forward towards the middle of the room. Breathing. And then inhale to press up. Back to table. That was it. So remember in the very beginning of class I said we're doing peacock pose and it's not the one that we stay in for a long time? You kind of can tell why. Because all in here, all in the wrists and forearms. So I found, again, like I said, we'll do this 2 more times. The place in which you're putting your elbows is in a spot that doesn't often, it's not often where we put the elbows themselves. And there's a region here called your solar plexus. I talk about this when I teach the chakras, where if you were to run your hands down your sternum and above your belly button, I think anatomically it's called your xiphoid process, it's always squishy where your ribs meet. No matter how much core work you do, it'll always be tender. But this is the place where you're looking to put the elbows. Yeah? One of my teachers says that this pose is, if you do this pose, it's like eating a box of nails because your elbows are like nails coming into your belly. So if that felt strange or asymmetrical or awkward, the tip that I like to offer is you bring something solid there. You bring a block to your solar plexus. I know, I'm not taking any of the furrowed eyebrows personally. I fully realize what I'm asking you to do is insane, but a moment to play. Then this time, you set up, clenching the block. You come onto your forearms and your knees, or your palms and your knees, look forward, and then begin to extend your legs back. So the block acts as a support for you to find maybe a little bit more stability. Should we try it? Okay. Yeah, more or less. But I'm teaching it this way with your thumbs facing more forward and access to the wrists and the forearms all the way together and palms facing back. But this one that we've been doing gives a little more clearance in the wrists itself. Good question. Let's try it out. This awkward variation of Mayurasana, Monday. So find the bolster, let it rest up against your thighs. Bring your block to your solar plexus. So it's above your belly, below your rib cage. Now bring your elbows, it's awkward I know, to the top of the blocks and reach your forearms forward like you're saying an awkward hello. Good. Flat this way. Yeah, just like that. I know, a little push up. Now look forward and with steadiness begin to lower your palms down onto the floor. And as your elbows push into the block, your block pushes into your belly, look forward. And then maybe you walk your feet 1 foot at a time towards the back of your forearm plank. Look forward. Think heart forward as you reach the heels back, breathing. And then to come out, kiss your knees down, let the block fall if it falls, and come back up to a seat. How is that? I don't know. I don't me either. It's necessary if you have something in the way. Yeah. So last round, last variation, and then we'll never do this again. So for those of us that this is your first time with me, not all classes are like this. We only do this once, and you're lucky enough to come. So this one, I suggest using the block one more time. But if you remember, we did that 3-legged down dog to 1-legged plank to 1-legged chaturanga. That's what this variation explores now. So this is what it looks like. With or without the block, you come into your table. You lower your forearms and knees. And now this wants to happen. Try to reach your head forward. And now you might walk 1 leg back at a time. And here, you got to reach your chest forward, bend your elbows, and maybe you lift 1 foot, maybe you lift the other. And then you come down. Peacock, Mayurasana. If you saw that and you said, Anisha, absolutely not. No, thank you whatsoever. Zero obligation. With your feet on the floor, you'll feel the action of hugging in, and I want you to think, how long can you get? So think heart forward and legs back with all 10 toes down on the ground. Yeah, but I'll talk you through it. Last one, Mayurasana. So find your block, bring it to your guts. And now as you come to stand on your knees, let your elbows hug the block in. Do that little weird high five. Look forward and start to lower your palms down onto the ground. Now your palms might be a fist distance, they might be an inch, but let your thumbs face forward to give you a little more clearance in the wrists. Now push your elbows into your belly, look forward. Stay right here in this turtle-like variation, or you might reach your right leg back, reach your left leg back, reach your heart forward, and as you claw your fingertips, the further forward your heart goes, you might come onto your tippiest of tippy toes. You might lift one foot, maybe the other, as you hug your feet in. Whee! I know, it's like, why? What is the pose? Peacock. This is what Lakshmi surrounds herself with, which is why we're doing it. We're not doing it again, but any thoughts, insights, questions, comments?
Do you remember the first time you did it? So I'm just like sometimes if there's a pose I'm struggling with, it helps to know like what to hug.
What to hug in.
The answer is usually everything.
Sure.
About like focusing on one group more or something. I'm wondering if you had that.
Yes, my tip, so the ones when the legs go long that I just taught is, it just feels different in different bodies. The one variation that I remember learning that kind of helped unlock what it felt like to get your legs lighter was, I always use the block because it doesn't, otherwise I can't find any steadiness here. So block always, and when my thumbs face forward, it helps the wrists. But as you look forward, you bring your feet closer towards your knees. So instead of trying to get longer, your chest goes forward to maybe play with almost like you're a fulcrum. So when your legs are closer together towards the midline, it helps you feel and play until you want to extend your legs off. Yeah? And then you squeeze everything in. Just everything gets squeezed. Never again. Until tomorrow night. And let's come into one last downward facing dog, please. And we'll get some counter poses in there as you lift your hips to the sky. So in this down dog, please bring your hands as wide as your mat and do turn your thumbs to face more to the middle of the room or towards the front of the room. Lift your heels, soften your knees, stick your butt up and back towards the wall behind you as you take a deep breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your inhale, come forward to one last. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for a cobra. Take an extra few breaths. Hug the shoulder blades together. Slide the ears back so your head is in line with your chest. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. A breath in your down dog. And kiss your knees down onto the ground to come into tabletop. Now from table, swing your legs out in front of you. Come to sit on your butt. We'll do a few twists and hip openers here. So back to give yourself a little gauge to see if your low back is rounding into your palms. You might sit up onto the edge of your blanket or your bolster to give your hips a little bit of height. The imagery that I like to think of is if your pelvis is a bowl of water, you want not the water tipping back, but slightly forward as you lift your hips in and up. Now interlace your hands and gently start to make figure eights in one or the other direction. Notice what it feels like to have the wrists move in one or the other direction. And now the next time you come back through center, switch the interlace. Put your palms straight ahead towards the front of the room. Shoulders to the ears. Plug the shoulder blades together and slow and steady sweep your palms up to the ceiling. That's it. Sometimes Legs back, slide the ears back as you stretch up through the palms and take one more breath in and a deeper breath out. And release your hands as you shake them out. Bend your right knee, bring your right foot onto the ground. And now options, you can stay right here as you grow tall through the spine. You might cross your right foot over your left thigh, trying to keep the whole right foot on the ground. Maybe your left leg stays straight, or you bend your left knee to draw your left heel towards your left butt cheek. But try to keep both butt cheeks rooted on your blanket or the floor. Try to keep that right big toe sealed on the ground. And as your right hand comes behind you, reach your left arm all the way up. And as you exhale, bend your left elbow. Either hook your left elbow over your right thigh, or you might give your right thigh a hug in towards your belly or chest for this version of Ardha Matsyendrasana, seated Lord of the Fishes pose. If that right butt cheek feels light up off the earth, can you anchor your right sitting bone to the ground? Hug the shoulder blades towards each other, and then slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. You might look straight ahead towards the brick wall. You might start to turn your gaze over that right shoulder as if your left eyeball could look over your right shoulder blade. But take a full breath in and down as best. Stay for your exhale, hug the right shoulder up and slide the ears back to on an inhale, unwind, uncross and both knees, bring your feet onto the ground and just watch your neighbors next to you as you slowly windshield wiper your knees. And now after going evenly, the next time your knees come through center, straighten your arm, keep your left knee bent. And all of these give your hips a lot more room so you can stay here the whole time. Left foot over your right. Thighs crossed, you might bend your bottom knee and draw your right butt cheek. But with your hands to either side, take a big breath in to grow tall. As you exhale, up, one more breath. And on exhale, either hook the elbow across your left thigh or hug the knee in towards your belly. But think left butt cheek down towards the ground. Let the left big toe side edge of your foot press into the earth. And as you shrug your left shoulder up and back, slide your ears back so your head is over your heart. Stay here, or your gaze might start to slowly turn over your left shoulder towards the back of the room, as if your right eyeball could look over your left shoulder blade to feel the twist move from the base of your spine through the cervical vertebrae. Take one more deep breath in as best as you can. Stay for your exhale. Think left shoulder up and back. Slide the ears back and lean back over yourself. On an inhale, unwind, draw your legs back through center. Uncross your legs, bring your feet flat. Come to lay down, a moment in reverse table. So bend your knees, bring your feet flat onto the floor. Let your hands come back wide as your mat and let your thumbs face more forward to give your shoulders and wrists a little more room. Now without lifting your hips, keep your hips all the way forward to your heels. Without lifting, press into your palms to lift your chest. This is for broadness through the heart. If you'd like to add more weight, you might push through your feet to lift your butt up. Knees, or without crimping the head back, sides of your to look up to the sky. Breath full. Take a breath in to push through your feet to lift. Push your palms down and apart to lift the back of your chest. One more breath in. And exhale to lower your butt. You can do a little spin. Come to lie on your back so towards the front of the room. Feet face to the back of the room. Burpee balls within a grabbable distance. And if anyone needs, lay down, raise a hand, and I'm so happy to bring. But once you're on your back, take your time to locate your therapy balls, and I'm coming to bring some. And today I'll talk you through some therapy ball work in the upper back and some options. We'll meet you there momentarily, but you can keep the therapy balls in their tote or take them out. But for therapy balls in the upper back, lift your head and shoulders up off of the ground. Pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades to either side of your spine. Think therapy balls at the top tips of your shoulders, high up in the upper back. And once you find a place you can breathe in and be curious about, some options, you might bring your head down onto the floor, or you might bring your head up onto a block at its lowest height to alleviate any pressure. But as you drape your body onto the earth, take a full breath in through the nose, and even open your mouth to let that breath out. The breath that never needs to be thought of. It's always there to carry and to hold you. Can you take one more full breath in exactly as you are, and a deeper through every fiber of your being. More places here in the knees bent, feet on the ground. Press through your legs to roll your body a few inches towards your head until the therapy balls come down your back to the shoulder blades, so slightly lower than where you just were. Once you find this new place, any props to support you, take a full breath in and a deeper breath out through every direction. One final spot with the least. Press through your legs, body another few inches towards the front of the room. Come to the bottom tip of the blade, so slightly lower than where you've just. You might keep your arms heavy on your body or alongside of you. Or to explore any gentle movement, you might reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling and give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for the therapy balls behind your back. Perhaps you lean gently from side to side, stay still. Or giving yourself a hug, you might switch which elbow to just any difference. Deep breath behind yourself. And open your mouth to let all of that breath out. And now unwrap your arms if they're wrapped around you. Clear any blocks from underneath you if they're there. And this time, as you reach one or both of your arms overhead, slowly roll over onto your favorite side. And with the least amount of effort required, press yourself up to a seat. And I'd love to show you just an option for Shavasana today to set up bolsters, which I don't often teach with. So if you'd like to use it for a very supported heart bench, I'll show you a or any other option that you'd like to set up for. So bring your block to its lowest height or middle height, and then your bolster drapes across to create a little shelf. When you go down, your butt will stay on your sticky mat instead of butt on the bolster. Your butt will stay on the sticky mat, and you'll slowly drape your body down onto the earth. Your hands can rest on either side, your legs can be long or bent, but I invite you, if you'd like to take this variation towards me, the feet towards the back of the room. Alternative to support as steadily as you can of weight bearing on the arms, on the chest. So a moment to drape yourself onto the earth in any way that finds comfort and steadiness. You might let your hair down, You might set your glasses safely off to one side. You might have your feet wide hips, and even gently roll your toes open to opposite ends of the room. And with your eyes and that attention turned in, the breath nourishes, expands, and softens, can find its way in you and through you. Let each breath heavier into the earth. And the heavier your body becomes, the more spacious, expansive you may just start to feel. Begin to your breath. Take a long in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let your begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any supportive movement that feels sweet to you. You might roll your wrists, ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head softly from one to the other, heavy against its support. Mindful of any props, you might reach your arms overhead or bend your knees, feel both feet on the ground, and knock your knees into one. And some options to come up, you can either gently roll over to one side on the bench or let your hands catch behind your thighs to slowly roll yourself up to a seat. But however you make your way back, come to find a tall spine facing the front of the room, just as we started. You can draw your hands to center anywhere that feels. And we'll finish our time together the same way we began, with one breath. Take your nose and a longer, full breath out through your nose or mouth. You might bow your head to your hands towards your head in such a simple but sweet gesture of self-reverence. yourself, another, a flock of peacocks who practiced right alongside with you, a plumage of peacocks. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, y'all. Doing it just one more time tomorrow night. So if you're a night person and either want to practice it or avoid practicing it, it's just one more Tuesday. And then next week we do something different. But it's really great to be with you all. Drink water, take good care of yourselves, enjoy the winds outside. And if there's any props or things that you want to wipe down, any mats, there's a fresh bucket of wipes here to give things a swipe with. And this Sunday, Eric's teaching yoga, restorative yoga and yoga nidra, 5:30 to 7. You want to tuck yourself in after a weekend. A bunch of other stuff is coming up in November that I'll share. Anyone else? Any announcements from y'all? Things in your worlds to go to?
Next week begins Philly Vegan Restaurant Week, so if you enjoy an exclusively or partially plant-based diet, there's things going on all over the city. I think the website is Philly Vegan Restaurant Week. It's easy to remember.
Thank you. Philly Vegan Restaurant Week.
And all the restaurants are making a donation to a nonprofit organization in the city called Juntos, which
Ah,
does some immigration support services.
thanks, Sharon. Oh no, I've sat down and can't get up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye. Thanks, friend. Good to see you.